Good evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Grant Olson is away tonight. I'm Jefferson Robbins. We've got a lot of news for you this evening, but first we should take a quick look outside our weather window. That little fug of wildfire smoke that we've been enjoying has lifted a bit today, as you can see here from this view from our Lake Wenatchee Sky-Fi camera. The air quality was improved in the Wenatchee Valley today. The health warning today was only moderate compared to some of the more unhealthy particle counts we've seen since the weekend, thanks to all these wildfires. Some more clearing may be in the future. We've still got that heat, but the good news is there's likely to be a cool down in the near future. Some of that because of weather systems that are moving in. Small chance of thunderstorms today. We could have to keep an eye on that. And of course, with thunder comes the risk of lightning. With lightning comes the risk of wildfires. Let's be alert, but hope for some improved weather outlook as the week goes along. Dan Kuntz will be along a bit later to give you the full weather picture. But in the meantime, here's a few of the stories that we are following for you tonight. 2 brothers are dead and another man charged with second-degree murder in Grant County. Police say the accused killer knew both of his victims. Local health experts are again recommending masks in indoor public settings as the COVID-19 Delta variant takes hold. And the alleged leader of a gang-related shooting in East Wenatchee won't be released on reduced bail before his trial. But first, our top story tonight, a 40-year-old Moses Lake man is being held on $3 million bail in the shooting deaths of 2 brothers on Saturday. Noe Pena is accused of 2 counts of second-degree murder in the killing of 52-year-old Epitacio Martinez Molina and his brother, 37-year-old Moises Martinez. Their bodies were found about noon in a dairy-owned garage in the 8,000 block of Road 18 Northeast, just north of Moses Lake. The Grant County Sheriff's Office said deputies responded about 11:45 a.m. to a report of a man with a gun in his hand walking east on Road 18 Northeast. Kyle Foreman, Public Information Officer for the Sheriff's Office, said the garage was on property owned by Mickelson Ranch, where the 2 victims worked and lived in farm worker housing. Shell casings and the gun allegedly found on Pena have been sent to the state crime lab for analysis. Foreman said Pena and the 2 victims were known acquaintances. Well, after a brief reprieve thanks to wet weather over the weekend, the fires plaguing Okanogan County have perked up as hotter, drier weather returned. Crews attacking the Cedar Creek, Delancey, and Cub Creek fires had to deal with increased fire behavior yesterday, although they've largely held the spread in check. Sun Mountain Lodge near Mazama remains under evacuation orders, and the tourist season in the Methow Valley has been devastated by smoke and fire threat. The multiple fire complexes have burned about 110,000 acres. Each of them is about 23% contained. Well, health experts from the federal to the local level are again recommending masks in indoor public settings. The fear is that COVID-19, particularly its Delta variant, is again spreading fast throughout our communities. Last week, 4 county health departments in north central Washington made a public plea for residents to once again adopt masking, whether vaccinated or not. Dr. James Wallace, Chief Health Officer for Okanogan County, gave this update on Monday.
We are seeing an increase across the region in COVID cases. Central Washington Hospital is seeing a significant increase in hospital admissions and folks in their ICU. And all of the counties are seeing increases. And we're worried that the Delta variant has become predominant in our region, and it's much more transmissible. More people get infected and have symptoms when they're exposed to the Delta variant. And so we're worried that we're going to see new activity with the virus in the coming weeks. What we've recommended is everyone start masking again while they're indoors. We know that masking is effective, and we've encouraged folks that are unvaccinated to mask indoors. But we're asking everyone, even folks that are vaccinated, to mask indoors, because this virus that we're seeing, the variant, is more transmissible. And even if folks are vaccinated, there's still a higher likelihood than before that they could contract the virus and spread it. So we still know that the vaccine is the best way to prevent COVID. It's still highly effective. Very few of the cases that we're seeing, even those of the Delta variant, are in vaccinated individuals. So most of the cases that we're seeing in Okanogan County, in fact, right now, all of the cases that are at Central Washington Hospital, hospitalized cases, are unvaccinated individuals. And so not only is the vaccine doing a really good job at preventing illness, but it's also preventing really severe illness. and preventing folks from going to the hospital.
Well, the alleged leader of a shooting that targeted an East Wenatchee family will have to remain in jail for now. 25-year-old Jorge Reyes was denied a chance at reduced bail on Monday, despite requests from his defense attorneys. He's held in the Okanagan County Jail on $500,000 bond. East Wenatchee police said Reyes led a group of at least 3 people in a gang-related shooting near 9th and Baker Streets on June 5th. One man was wounded in the attack. Prosecutors argued Reyes is a flight risk and poses a danger to the community. Douglas County Judge Brian Huber turned down the defense request. Reyes faces a scheduled trial September 27th. 2 other people are charged as accomplices in that shooting. Coming up next, a Malaga man who scrambled for a gun when confronted by sheriff's deputies gets a 22-month sentence. And a classic piece of navigation history gets repurposed for a video game at the Rocky Reach Dam Museum. That and more coming up. I'm Jefferson Robbins. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Hi, Stephen DeVilbus here, Branch Manager of Beneficial and Home Care. We are an equal opportunity employer and we do not discriminate in employment or services. It is our mission to maximize our clients' physical health and sense of mental well-being while remaining in the comfort of their home. We are currently seeking professional caregivers who share our mission to help our clients live safely and comfortably at home. Call Beneficial and Home Care. Schedule your interview today, 509-663-7900.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu because we work to get you to work.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. A Malaga man who assaulted his wife and then went for a gun when Chelan County Sheriff's deputies interrupted the attack was sentenced Monday to 22 months behind bars. 55-year-old Gustavo Gomez Gutierrez pleaded guilty to charges of 2nd and 3rd degree assault as well as domestic violence. He's been in jail since his arrest in April 2020 when 3 deputies arrived at his home on a report that he had displayed a handgun to construction workers building a project next door. When they saw Gomez grappling with his wife and entered the house, Gomez ran to a bedroom and tried to reach a handgun he kept on his nightstand before the deputies tackled him. The Rocky Reach Discovery Center has long been home to a classic steamship wheel of the kind that used to steer ferries and boats before the Columbia River was dammed. The renovated Discovery Center will reopen August 28th, and the steamship wheel will have a new role. Visitors will use it to control a new video game in which they guide a virtual ship through the rocky channels of the Wenatchee Valley stretch of the river. You can try it out when the Dam Museum reopens at month's end. Admission, as always, is going to be free. The Grant County Sheriff's Office has been unable to figure out who owns a boat that was found drifting empty in the lake over the weekend. Sheriff's Office spokesman Kyle Foreman said there is no indication someone fell off the boat. He said it's not unusual to find boats that have broken free of their moorings, but in this case, the boat registration does not come back to a valid owner. He said if the owner doesn't come forward, the boat will most likely go to auction. Now, you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett and his administrators ask for public help in rolling back new laws that govern police agencies. After that, Dan Kuntz comes along with your complete local weather forecast. Much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
What is home? A place to gather, a place to grow, provide shelter for the ones we love, eat, drink, restore, build trust. It's a place to rest when the workday is done, a place to find quiet after a night of good fun. What an honor we have at Guild to help own, finance, create, pave the way to live in home.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. More than 1,000 people packed Grace City Church in Wenatchee to hear the first of 6 town halls planned by Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett in response to police reforms passed by the state legislature this year. Burnett and 3 members of his staff discussed their difficulty adjusting to the new laws concerning drugs, use of force, and contact with suspects.
On July 25th of this year, unprecedented legislation went into effect that has created the biggest change in our profession, in our history of our profession, some would say. Some of those elements of the laws that were passed are contradictory with themselves, and they're also contradictory with current laws. We've seen this storm coming in recent years, or in recent months, I should say. We've kind of seen this storm coming, and we're concerned. That's why we wanted to get these town halls meeting. We got this meeting together in less than a week, and look at this turnout right here. It's incredible.
Back, and you're going to hear some things. You're going to say, well, that maybe it's not the intent, and you're going to hear the sponsors of these bills say that's not the intent, and law enforcement is pulling way back, and they're being way conservative, and they're trying to make this a political issue. And I'm saying the opposite. They made this the political issue, and such. So, and I told these guys up here tonight. I told all 3 of these, I said, let me be political. You guys just give them the facts and talk about it and let them digest it.
On a traffic stop that's speeding, the officer has the ability to use their discretion based upon their need to educate or enforce the law. With this new statute, with drugs, specifically to possession, the discretion is gone, meaning the investigation shows that this person has not been contacted twice and received 2 official referrals, which essentially is a piece of paperwork that has some resources on it. We don't know what those resources are yet. There is no statewide system for the resources, but has some resources on it and is considered an official referral. Then they get another referral, or their first referral, and they go about their merry way. So the language in the new Blake law has now removed paraphernalia. So that means that meth pipe essentially as a standalone item is the same as a cigarette butt.
As far as the suspect goes, you can start using some deductive reasoning. In the example I just gave you and say, hey, if he's boisterous, if he is not wanting to cooperate, he's saying, hey, I'm out of here, see ya. And we say, you're not free to leave. And he goes, I bet I am, I'm leaving anyways. We would be able to grab that person and say, no, you're not leaving because you might be the problem here. Under the new law, same scenario, that person said, we tell that person, hey, you're not free to leave. We think you're the suspect of this assault against this person. Now I cannot grab that person and put them in handcuffs until I have probable cause. I don't have probable cause until I find some corroborating evidence, right? So I have to now, under this House bill, same scenario, and this is what, like we said, we want to make sure that you folks know how these affect you. Now, if I find myself in that same scenario, I have to let the guy walk because I can't use force on him according to House Bill 1310. I can't detain him, I can't put him in handcuffs, do my investigation, develop probable cause, and then we can go try to look for him after the fact.
Now here with a full look at your weather picture, it's Dan Kuntz of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley.
Once again, Dan Kuntz filling in for Grant Olson. He'll be back tomorrow. I won't. That's another story. all together. Let's take a look outside of our weather window. Beautiful Lake Chelan does the honors today from our Bear Mountain camera looking up towards Tehican and Holden Village. And it may look like it's a little smokier up in the Lake Chelan area than it is down here in the Wenatchee Valley, but looks can be deceiving. That camera that you see there is soaking up a lot of information on the frame. It's also a very high camera, high above the Bear Mountain Golf Course. So yeah, it is a little hazy and it is a little smoky up in Chelan, but boy, what a difference 24 hours makes. We were in really bad air yesterday at this time, not so much today. What happened? I'll explain it to you when we get to the weather forecast here in just a couple minutes. But first, let's take a look at the almanac. And kudos to the National Weather Service. They hit the nail right on the head for 2 days in a row. 97, our high today, another hot and hazy day. Nowhere near close, of course, to the record high of 107 set back in 1961. I wasn't around in 1961. I can't tell you about that. But it has been an abnormally warm summer. We talked about this yesterday, warmest July on record. August, we won't know for another 28 days or so. And you notice the days are getting shorter. We had, what, 14 hours and 9 minutes of daylight? Today, we're losing about 2 minutes of daylight. But we still have a lot of summer to go, the rest of August and most of September, for that matter. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the highs expected tomorrow. Now, again, haze and smoke does play a role in all of this. But they got pretty good yesterday, and it looks pretty confident that we'll be in triple digits at Moses Lake. Freddie, you'll be at 100 degrees. Quincy, 98. Wenatchee, 99. Still warm up at Lake Wenatchee. If you folks are going to go get that sockeye salmon come tomorrow, don't forget your sunscreen. You're probably going to need it. 100 in Omak and 98, the forecast high in Chelan. So why is the air so much cleaner today than it was yesterday? Two factors. Number one, the fires to the south of us, the big fire, the bootleg fire in Oregon, and the fires to the north of us in the Medhow Valley, they've been making some progress on that, not burning as intensely. And the other thing that happened is that the winds changed direction, and somewhat unpredictably what happened is the winds came in and blew all of that smoke towards the Spokane area. It was the Lilac City that had the really dirty air today and still has really dirty air today. We are much cleaner, still not super clean, but not bad. Another hot and a hazy day expected on Wednesday, no significant change until we get to Thursday. Thursday night, you're going to notice some cooler air coming in, and it's going to bring in with it some moisture, some much needed moisture for north central Washington. And by the time we get to Friday, we're talking rain. What's going on? Look how much cooler those temperatures are going to be. Look at the Cascades. Cascades are only going to see highs in the upper 50s, and that cool marine moist air coming in from the Puget Sound of the Gulf of Alaska is going to cool us down to below normal, only 83. Our forecast high on Friday, and that's actually 7 degrees below normal, cooler still on Saturday. If you're looking for a cooler, pleasant August weekend, as opposed to hot, hazy, and not particularly pleasant, this is the weekend for you. What we really need is some much needed rain. Our best chance of rain certainly on Friday. We're not talking heavy rain, just some light showers, but just enough to help those firefighters and just enough to see if we can break out of this incredibly dry period of weather that we've been having. And by the way, by the time we get to Sunday and Monday, we start the warm-up process all over again. So there is relief in sight if you don't like the smoke. We still have that air quality advisory that goes until noon on Thursday, heads up on that. And the heat advisory continues until 11 o'clock tomorrow. But as you can see, we're in for a pretty nice cool down. I say, bring it on. All right, here's your forecast in detail. It looks something like this. 97 could see a pop-up thunderstorm. Now, if we see some thunderstorms, they're going to be relegated probably to the slopes of the Cascades or to the far north of us. Hopefully, they'll pack a little bit of rain with them. A dry thunderstorm is the last thing we need right now. Very mild, 71 for the overnight low tonight. Another hot and hazy day Wednesday. We start the cool-down process on Thursday. Thursday night is when that cold front comes in from the Gulf of Alaska, cools us way down, a good 11 degrees cooler on Friday compared to Thursday, and yes, maybe even a little bit of rain on Friday night, and right on into Saturday before we warm right back up again to begin the next work week. That's your forecast. Still to come, Eric Granstrom with sports and more with Jefferson Robbins. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
At Wenatchee Power Sports, we proudly offer the Polaris product line. Polaris builds the highest quality side-by-side in the industry, with off-road capability that's second to none. The Polaris pre-order program allows customers to purchase the vehicle they want without having to select from limited dealer inventory. The Wenatchee Valley has year-round access to some of the best ORV trails in the Northwest. Start your adventure here at Wenatchee Power Sports.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Tuesday to you. The Seahawks were in pads today for the first time in training camp. The offense still working on installing the new offense by new offensive coordinator Shane Waldron. According to DK Metcalf, Seattle's running backs will play a key role in the passing game this season.
Alex Collins is going to be a monster. When he gets his shot, Chris Carson, all the workout videos that we've seen of him, I can't wait to see him touch the field again. Our running back room is stacked. I can't wait until, they step on the field and we put it on film.
Seahawks added tight end Gerald Everett in free agency for the Rams this offseason. He says he is enjoying getting to know and play with Russell Wilson.
Playing with the Rams for the past 4 years, you see the plays in the late fourth quarters and, him, Tyler, him, DK hooking up and, just putting them back on top. And it's just, it's frustrating from the other side. But, being here and seeing how he really works up close in person, it's a sight to see.
One thing that Shane Waldron wants out of his offense this season is a quicker tempo to get the ball out of Russell Wilson's hands quicker. Everett says that opens up the potential for big plays.
Oh, it definitely makes us unpredictable. Something that Seattle struggled with last year as an offense. Just, teams started to be able to kind of key in on DK and Tyler and, kind of double both of those guys, and it just left nothing for the offense to gain. So, it's the reason why I'm here, it's the reason why Shane's here, and we're definitely going to make that a crucial thing to improve on.
Seattle will play a scrimmage at Lumen Field this Sunday at 1:25. Tickets available at Seahawks.com. Well, the Mariners rebounded from back-to-back hard-luck losses at Texas, post an 8-2 win at Tampa Bay last night. Jake Fraley back in the lineup after being on the IL for 10 days, contributed a couple of hits, 2 RBIs. Ty France a triple shy of the cycle as the Mariners improved to 5-0 against the Rays this season. Seattle jumped on Tampa Bay starter Michael Wacha for 5 runs in the 3rd inning.
In his playing days, a backup catcher. Solidly struck, base hit, right field, Kyle Seager. Scoring is Crawford. Haniger to second. Mariners have a 1-0 lead. How about Seeks? 12 RBI in his last 7 games. 1-0 Mariners. 2 or 3 more would be big. Hit the other way. There we go. Base hit. Ty France. There's Haniger scoring. It's 2-0 Mariners. Seager to third. Good inning here in the 3rd frame. Ty's 46th run batted in. Fraley hits it hard through into right field. Scoring is Seager. France on the move. He scores a 2-run single for Jake Fraley. That's hit hard. Shortstop Wendell, short way for 1. And the ball gets away. Scoring is Toro. 5-0 Mariners.
Yeah, 5 runs there. They go on for 8. Plenty for Chris Flexen, who pitched into the 7th for his 10th win of the season.
Strike 3 call. Great pitch. Need an out here. Swing and a miss. He got him. He got the out he needed. Stranding a couple. We go to the 3rd scoreless. It's been a good first 4 innings for the Mariners. 1-2. Breaking ball and a beauty, struck him out. 3rd K for Flexen. 2 down here in the 4th.
The ball out of the ballpark. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Cal Raleigh for strike 3. That is strikeout number 4 for Chris Flexen.
Raleigh with a high target. Struck him out. 5th strikeout for Flex. Oh, beauty. 6th strikeout for Big Flex.
Just a terrific 12-6 curveball. 113 pitches, and Scott Service says that's enough. He's going to get Joe Smith.
6 2/3. Really outstanding performance by Chris Flexen.
Manager Scott Service says it starts with pitching, ends with timely hits for the Mariners.
Big offensive night for us as well, but I often say it starts with the guy in the bump, and Flex was great. Awesome outing tonight. Picks up his 10th win, and wow, where would we be without him? Offensively, Ty France continues to put together a heck of a season. Going to get 3 knocks tonight. Really nice to have Jake Fraley back in the lineup. Offensively, a couple knocks, getting on base with a walk on top of that, and a really nice catch in the outfield. So I think our lineup is getting deeper, lengthening it out, and the 2 young pups at the end, I thought had some good bats tonight too. But good way to start this series against a quality opponent, and certainly Tampa's been playing really good, and we match up well against them. We've played well against them all year, so hopefully it continues here a couple more days in Tampa before we head to New York.
Seattle and Tampa Bay at it again tonight. Yusei Kikuchi against Luis Patino. The only other American League West game on Monday saw Texas win its 3rd straight, 4-1 over Angels. Dane Dunning and 3 relievers combined to hold the Angels to 1 run on 3 hits. Wenatchee Apple Sox begin a final 6 homestand of the season tonight against Port Angeles. Wenatchee comes into the game with a 4-11 record in the second half of the West Coast League season. Lefties are 5-9. 2 teams met back in July. Sox taking 2 of 3 in Port Angeles. With just 9 games left on the season, voice of the Apple Sox, Joel Norman, says any chance at the playoffs for Wenatchee comes down to this week's games.
Yakima wins the second half, which it seems like they're going to do as well. The playoff spot for the second half goes to the next best overall record for the entire year. In the entire division for the entire season.
Gotcha.
So right now, Bellingham has that. I believe we're about 4 games back of them with 9 games to go. So you're right. We kind of have to take care of business with Port Angeles, but a team in Cowlitz coming in, they've had their ups and downs in the second half, so they'll provide a challenge. And then we end the season at Yakima. So the task is really tall at this point, but I think the biggest thing to worry about right now is just taking it 1 game at a time.
Now the Sox, after tonight in the next 3 games against Port Angeles, will host Cowlitz beginning Friday. We'll have that game live here on the NCWLIFE channel. Pregame on Hawaiian night starts at 6:30. The only game in the schedule of the West Coast League on Monday, a non-leaguer for Corvallis. Knights handled Northwest Star Academy 12-4. Spencer Scott led the way for the Corvallis Knights, going 3 for 4 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs. Besides Wenatchee and Port Angeles tonight, schedule includes Walla Walla at Bend, Corvallis hosting Yakima Valley, Cowlitz is at Ridgefield, and Portland takes on Bellingham. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Jefferson, back to you.
Thank you as always, Eric. Well, finally from us tonight, an Okanagan County man has walked away from his longtime romantic partnership with only a horse and a saddle. Leroy Stringfield was awarded nothing more than that in an annulment proceeding from the woman he lived with and later married. He appealed the county judge's decision to the State Court of Appeals, saying he was owed part of the real estate belonging to his former wife based on improvements he'd made to their home between 2011 and 2018. But the appellate court this week said Mr. Stringfield hadn't shown sufficient proof of the value of his work, and so he'll get just what the county court awarded him, his horse and his saddle. Well, here's your last glimpse of morning show host Dan Kuntz as he rides off for a little vacation. Before he goes, he'll let you know what's coming up for Wednesday's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you very much, Jefferson. Tomorrow, of course, Grant will be back in the anchor chair for the evening news, but I will be gone for the rest of this week. I'll be on assignment on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so my good friend and colleague Eric Granstrom will be filling in for me. In fact, I don't even know why I'm doing the promo for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I won't be here, so anyway, Eric will be in for me. See ya.
Dan really is that tall. That's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or on our website, ncwlife.com. Remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com, or give us a call, 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Jefferson Robbins. Grant Olson will see you here tomorrow night. Don't forget the next.
Land of Pat Armstrong, Ford Lincoln, home of the lifetime warranty. That'll sure get you thinking. You need a new truck, an SUV, a car to take in on scenery. Mountains, rivers, slopes, and streams. You might as well see them from the truck of your dreams. You're in Ford Country. Land of Pat Armstrong, Ford Lincoln. You're in Ford Country.